Greetings. Thanks for joining us on this broadcast. It's just one more day here. I'll be back at the ranch. Okay, so we are steering near yeah, political Armageddon. So anything is possible, of course, without going into full details. I mean, there's a possibility that this whole Biden thing might actually happen, but it doesn't mean this is the end of it. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, it's like just because, yeah, it doesn't mean there's going to be things going on that day. But I believe possibly Biden will get the inauguration. But because sometimes you get wishful thinking that things are going to happen. It's like, oh, the military will just drive in and I'll be into that. I'm not sure it's going to be that simple. Just by history of existence, but it feels like it will get inaugurated as a feeling, but it still doesn't mean it's over yet. So just to put that out there, we'll have to wait and see. But I think some people feel like there's going to be interference there and all of that, and there probably will be here and there, but I still think it'll get through. But that doesn't mean anything. It's still not over yet. So that's the feeling on it. So people feel it's going to be until March. It could be, but I'm not feeling that, but we'll see. Anything can change between now and then, of course. It feels like, there was something that happened today there, and the follow up, and we're going to have little incidents here and there, and so the build up towards it. But I still feel Biden's going to get it, but that doesn't mean that it's all overthrown in the tower and that's it. Far from it. So it's a crime scene basically. I'm not talking about the Capitol building, but just government is currently a crime scene. So just have to let it play out. So who knows? Because I feel like he will get inaugurated at this point. But once again, it still isn't over. Well, we'll just have to wait and find out. I know this is something people want to hear, but there's a lot of wishful thinking. This is going to happen. That's going to happen, and you never know. We'll see, but it feels like they're going to do the deal. But anyway, I want to keep beating that horse to death. So tonight is Shadow President again. Yesterday, I think I was healing from a details, but I went through like an energy attack yesterday throughout the day. And I was clearing it out and wearing me out, but anyway, a lot better now. Yeah, family energies. Jeez, just. Ugh. And Quoting Consciousness, Anunnaki timeline. And we'll just do, I don't know what I was going to call it, timeline shift. I felt that Anunnaki. So we'll see where that goes. So that's about it. So let's see. So what will be Sunday? I imagine things are going to heat up a little bit, but who knows? So, all right. This is avatar.com. Our private sessions. For those who are new to all of this, you have a shop here on the 7th for some people. Same situation here. Of the webinar sign up, we have a webinar Wednesday and then next Thursday. Yeah. A social network they don't get kicked off of the Rabbit and behind the scenes. So, all right. All right. Blessings, everyone. Blessings. And make sure I know what I'm connected to. Yeah, Shadow President. I want it, because today is a different, I have more energy today. So I can give it a different vibration, different connection. From the clone consciousness, let's see where that goes. We'll see where all this goes. Yeah. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings to you. I'm the shadow president again, or the hidden president, or president's vibration. Well, you are getting closer to the truth of your reality. So I'm not here to disclose myself, but here to give you more of a connection to where you're going. Obviously, I can't go into full details of everything. There's a lot of Egyptian codexes within your buildings. A lot of them look Romanesque buildings, but there's still an Egyptian vibration about them. Notice that your current Capitol buildings are kind of like a Greek architecture slash Roman architecture. It's actually Greek and Egyptian in your modern day, or your 1800s. Any buildings that look like they're ancient Greek, energies, why your Capitol buildings look like that, which in the United States and other places. So yes, this is nothing new, but the Egyptians never left the building, or the Atlanteans never left. A lot of the Atlanteans want you to know they're still here by having that as architecture, energies the way they are. Of course, you can call it voodoo, and they're going to call it voodoo because there are places where there is a foundation of voodoo, but voodoo originated Babylon and so forth, and Egypt, of course. You can call it Egyptian voodoo if you wish. Many of you are connecting more to artificial intelligence, and that's going to obviously play a role because, well, you're going into the time of where you're going into strange times of disconnecting from your old world. So, where an android being can coexist with you. Now, technically, many humans are acting android like, and sometimes your society kind of calls for it because you can't say what's on your mind. So, you have to be robotic in society. So, there shows that AI energy has been here since the dawn of time. Even your Anunnaki beings use technologies to assist with the human. Of course, you use crystal technology. Even crystal technologies can have artificial intelligence with that too. Depending on who you're connecting to, not everybody's going to agree with that. But I mean, the crystals have consciousness. A lot of that consciousness can be artificial intelligence. Not all of it is, but a lot of it is. So it's another fragment of existence. A lot of your spirit beings choose crystal energies. Some of them choose to be a chair, some of them choose to be a house, and then choose to be crystals, or it can be all of them all together. It's like you go into you cross over into spirit, and a spirit being comes to you. Yeah, I was your house. I was your car. You remember me? So yeah, you're definitely ejecting the reality that you're in, crossing over into a very strange place. Well, many of you visualize alien energies, and obviously you're waiting for that time, but in that time of waiting, you are building that within yourself. So it just hasn't, the doors have not fully opened physically. Because when you add, as you know, an alien vibration into your reality, it's going to be a very strange world. You have to make your world strange for a strange being like that to come into this reality. So you have to disconnect from most things that are normal for these type of beings to appear here. Everything can be in disarray, that's fine, as long as it's not part of the control factors that are here currently. Disarray means disconnecting your media as it is in its form today, disconnecting a lot of your educational systems. And you notice some of that's happening right now, not all of it. Some are feeling very because of homeschooling or schooling for kids. But that's once again disconnecting from the old system. It's different. It's not the same anymore, and that will continue on in some form or another. We don't feel like you're going back to the way you were. You're going to a new reality, as you can see. It even has a date, an upcoming date for more to change. So it gives the elite a way to move things around. You have to cause events, a fire, just to shift your timeline. For humans to get ready, give them a year to understand this. Most of you spiritually are ready for all this, are just, I mean, obviously, many of you are bored and ready at the same time. Excited, but also tired of waiting, and we understand. But most of your population is terrified. Some are, many are, because this is too new to them. For many of you, you're aware of your future lifetimes. Yes, in the modern day is kind of old because you can see it in your mind, a reality where what you're living in right now does not exist anymore. What you're living in right now is in a museum somewhere. It's still appreciated for what it is. But yeah, your society now is like living in a cave. This is like a caveman's world right now. And many of you want to go to an astral reality, which is still appreciated once again, because you need somewhere, you need this for, I mean, you need all realities matter, even if some don't want to feel that way. So, but many of you are lighting your fire for a new reality. And yes, the doorways are opening. And yes, I guess you can say military has to be there. Well, because military is also part of portals opening, major ones. At least on your world, well, the military closed the portal. They might as well be there to open a portal. So, yeah, you're going into a major timeline shift. You're not fully there, but you're on your way. So, where it goes is still up to you, of course. But wherever it goes, you know, not to worry. Some are in a panic mode, and many of you obviously are just hesitant, just ready for the machine to take off. It's kind of like a spaceship going into the sky, isn't it? It is. And yes, the alien vibrational realities, many of you are probably already feeling it. It might be hesitant to show itself right now. Those doorways are slowly opening. One moment. What can we say about our connections with you? One moment. As for like a hidden president being seen, unlikely anytime soon. But some of you will get dreams of us here and there. Some of you want to see it sooner than you're ready, and that's when you get an astral attack. It's like, we're supposed to be there. We feel like a lot of your astral energies are downloading into the earth even stronger than it ever had before. So all of a sudden, you want to listen to higher frequency music. All of a sudden, you want to look at things differently. All of a sudden, you have a different diet. Yeah, that shows the new frequencies. You're ready for the new frequencies. Not to say we're not ready now, but it's just the world is ready for it. So, blessings to you. Greetings to you. We are the Zetas. We are, yes, very part of your clone society. Well, we're part of clone realities is so we can learn from you. Clones are used against your planet, but also used to heal your planet. It is a form of not necessarily artificial intelligence, but it is a form that is necessary for growth. Yes, for you to. There's also angels that incarnate on your world. Some of you are part of those processes. Some angel beings actually help with the clone realities that you are in. This is half human, half clone society currently that you're going through. Now, clones do have a time clock. Some of them, or a lot of them, depending on the clone, yeah, do have an expiration date. Usually it's the back of the neck. Well, you usually can feel the vibration of it, but it's normally marked in the back of the neck. It's not usually seen vision physically. Normally. A lot of clones also have a lot of health issues, depending on the clone. Depending on if it's a government clone, it can have issues if it's going to be here for till it's 90. It's like, hey, we want this senator to be here till 90 years old. So that's when the cloning process begins, around 60 or before. It all depends on who it is. It all depends on what agenda. Nothing's ever set in stone on what's going to occur. And there are cloning rooms. A lot of it's in Dulce, but there's other places. A lot of it's usually the desert regions. And yes, there are beings that can, yes, stop your reality for a moment, enough where they can bring in the changes. Your men in black do it all the time. They don't stop reality, but they can they can freeze certain areas off. So and blank the memories pretty quickly. Your men in black are able to at least blank out at least 20 to 30 people at once. With yes, use a flash or use a I would say it's even sound technologies to give you more of now your men in black beings. Some of you start might feeling their presence here and there because seems as many going through more of an awakening process, especially now. You might feel their movements, at least astrally. Some of them are to open up the doors for your awakening. Some of them are to close them. Many men in black beings are also time travelers. So it's and many of actually are part of the movies too, meaning that if they feel like some of the disclosure in some of your movies is a little bit too much, they can actually dial it down. Get a producer or someone, talk to them astrally to to just or come in as an executive or a mystery person and to shut down an idea or a money person, something like that. They have to have connections to do that, but some can. I believe they have been seen in Hollywood also. Obviously, people don't look at it that way. There is a lot of men in black in Los Angeles, actually. They don't make themselves known, but they are in the Los Angeles because the movie world has a lot to do with disclosure. So they are around. They're in parties also. Depending on it depends on the project they're working on. Obviously, there are a lot of elites there too. Some of the men in black beings are there also as bodyguards for the elite, and they are seeing the physical. Not exactly as you see in the movies, but they are connected to that vibration. You're usually in your reality though. They're not going to just disappear on you, but they're still connected to men in black and vibration. I mean, there are men in black people here that are third dimension. They're just normally not seen for obvious reasons. So they find ways of disappearing. The reason why we're bringing them up is they're part of the clone society also, of course. But they're normally with a men in black, if they do get injured, their soul can switch to the other clone just fine. It just rehabilitation if their body can't be repaired. So they just move over to the next body. That's all. So there's a process that goes into it. It's a little bit more complicated to go into. To give you a different well, some of you might end up start seeing these things, at least in your visions. Like there are men in black ships that some of you have been to actually. To usually to turn you off, or it's your astral self, dream world, just to erase your minds. And some of you have seen Men in Black in your as gatekeepers as you come back into your body to make sure that you're wiping out what you just saw, depending on what it is, of course. Some of you are getting a pass, most of you are not, at least at this time. So, just giving you an idea of cloning vibrations. There are cloning facilities in the astral. A lot of them are controlled, though. You can clone yourself all you want astrally, but the control vibrations are. And yes, you can basically have a clone child. I know that sounds a little bit strange, where you're like having a baby and all that, but it can also be a clone energy too. Well, the soul is cloned. Let's put it that way. It's a controlled soul. Let's put it, you know, some like Michael Jackson, for example. So we'll just use that one for example. Well, burning any more bridges than we already have. Not that we have any bridges to burn. Blessings. Greetings to you. I am Enki with Anunnaki. Blessings to you. Yes, we are known as time travelers. Anunnaki, the majority of us are time traveling beings, as you are, because we can arrive on a planet and easily go into the future with our minds and see it almost perfectly. Of course, we're seeing it from that point of view that we're at, that timeline of the landing. And we can, as we move things around and change things, we normally tap into the timeline to see where things went, how things go, if this is a good idea. So that was our advantage as we're working on the human on your world, developing it, clearing the vibrations out so you can reground it to the earth. Now, not all Anunnaki wanted a slave race, but some did. But also your human consciousness here wanted to be a slave race. Not everybody, but quite a few wanted it. They felt safer. It was a hive mind, basically. And as you can see on your world, there's many hive minds here. Well, many different groups, different religions, different corporations, they all have their own hive mind. Normally, a planet has just one hive mind, and that's it. Everybody shops at the same store, basically. And some, I mean, usually they have yes, those aren't exactly the most entertaining worlds, but meaning, but they have different stores, but usually the hive mind energy is just, they agree on everything practically. So those are very difficult worlds to be on. Really, if you want to try something new, it has to go by through everyone. Here, you want to try something new, a group can say okay, but the rest of the world says no. But as long as enough of the consciousness is allowing it, you can do it. That's why there's so much diversity. That's why so many people build businesses and they don't fit, and then they end up instantly failing because they're used to creating a business with their mind. It's like, oh, if I can create this business, it'll be successful. And there's a reality that does exist because you're connected to that high mind, depending on the world. Not all worlds have high minds, but many do. I said, oh, I have this idea. Obviously, they don't know how businesses, but I think you understand. We have an idea to create something, and the collective says, sure, no problem. And it easily goes in. So now you're in this world, you have an idea. It's like, oh, this is going to be a great business, and then nobody's there. It's, a different, you're just adjusting to the new world that you're on at this time. The timeline shift that you're heading into, you can say is a golden timeline for the world. I don't believe you've heard anyone say that before. Now, there have been golden timelines for individuals, but the world is getting its golden timeline. It's not meant to be perfect at first. I mean, mining gold is very difficult. But once you find the gold, you see a difference. It's never going to be perfect, but you're going into more of a higher vibrational timeline. I know this is nothing new to many of you, but for us to say that is very important. Is to give you clarity. Yes, it's going to be, we can't promise you're going to get everything you want instantly. But you're also going to have a more understanding of your astral realities slowly, whittle by whittle, and Lantian knowledge would come back through. Basically, your third eyes are being opened slowly. Of course, you probably heard of that before, but for many of you, it's going to happen actually. It just a slow. It's like the dam is being opened, but this is a good thing. You want to drain the swamp. Sometimes you have to put fresh water through it to wash out the negativity. Well, those timelines have run their course. Obviously, they're going to bite hard as they can. You're going to see things you've never seen before. Um, you need these things to be seen for you to go into a new reality. They have their reasons. It's hard to speak about it now because you're not into the new reality yet, but you are leaving one reality and going to another one. But this is much different when you have before. Not to say, yes, you're going to have flying cars and things like that, but you're going into a new insight, just a new world altogether. One that does not hurt so much internally. Well, many of you have so many past lives here that aren't on other planets. You can see your lifetimes very clearly. If you have a blockage, you can see it and clear it out, depending on the world, of course. This world, you don't remember everything. I mean, it's cut off. So you're not taught how to heal past life traumas. So, I mean, that's pretty much normal for a lot of realities. It's like when a being is born, as you learn about the being, you talk to the being like they're an adult. You learn from each other. And they talk about the lifetimes like, yeah, I just came from war from another lifetime. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to clear that out for you. I mean, the child is still a child. It just is talking. I mean, even children now speak like adults. Even now, you should see how many know how smart they are, but there's a spiritual intelligence that isn't always understood. People in your reality are terrified of it, and that was the point at the time. People are taught to be scared of spirituality. Notice how the churches are like, fear. Welcome to Temple of Fear. Well, that was to keep you in third dimension. Some would say that's a good thing, that's a bad thing. That's all on how you want to look at it. The archons. I mean, when humanity agrees on being part of forgetting everything, you invite archons here. You invite whoever you can to keep you in the physical level. Of course, doing that, they can go too far, and that's how it's happened. Obviously, they went too far, but once again, your world can handle it going to that deep of darkness. And once again, I believe you've been told this before, but many worlds can't handle this type of darkness. That have been gone a long time ago. And your world barely survived it itself, as many of you know, individually. So this is, yes, a champion planet. It's succeeding a lot of aliens in their expectations of this place. Obviously, it's difficult to see that when you're in this going through a lot of stress. But yes, your idea of a soldier is seeing someone with a gun and soldier outfits, but it's actually just a soldier. I mean, you don't have to look at it that way, but the true soldier is humanity, and you're just dressed in average clothes trying to get through the day. Obviously, you don't have to look at it that way, but I believe you've heard that before too. And it's true. That's why so many people add more problems to themselves. Well, it's like you might as well get it while you can, because this world's not going to be the nightmare plan forever. That's why so many loaded on, but to have all these problems, mental illness, physical problems, all these things. It's because, yeah, this world's not going to, as many want to, this to last for thousands and thousands of years. That's not the plan. Of course, it's already been around for a very long time. Because when you go into a timeline of perfection, there's a lot of lessons to be learned there also. Because you have a lot of responsibilities, you have this power, and you're going to use it right or you're going to use it wrong. You're basically going back to that Atlantean idea system. Um, but you're, yes, matured greatly this time, of course. So, lessons.